This is Break Me Off Radio, and I am your host, Miss Deborah Denise. And let me tell you all, this is the place where you come, you learn something new, you share something new, but most importantly, we break you off and leave you wanting more. So this evening, you all, I am so glad you all have joined us for the show. So many things that I want to discuss and talk about. So I'm going to try to remain on topic. But first, let me start with this. Today was the day to get out and exercise your right to vote. So if you are across social media, I don't care what platform you use, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook, and you tell yourself in your whole soul that you are a community leader and you are not getting out there to vote, I no longer want to hear it. We have to have people that are standing behind their vote, standing behind who they put in office, making sure that they did their research before they voted, because there are too many issues that are out there, including the transportation tax, that we have to put on the table and have open and honest discussions about. But I'm tired of people telling us about city council doing this, city council not doing this, people aren't listening to me, board of education, whatever have you. Today was your day to have your voice be heard. If you didn't vote, man, listen, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm probably not going to rock with you anymore. I need people to exercise their right to vote. I said it earlier on a Facebook Live. It warms my heart when I know that our neighbors, especially those that are homeless in houses, those who are former felons, are able to register to vote and they are exercising their right. So very excited, so very glad for those that did register to vote and got out and vote. But if you're talking and spewing all this negativity across social media and you didn't take the time to vote, listen, your word doesn't matter. You got to put your mouth where your vote is. And if you're not doing that, stop spewing all of this hate out and confusing those that do register and exercise their right to vote, because people do get confused when you are out there spewing your ideologies and your own thoughts about what should be happening, especially when it comes to our local government. So, if you didn't exercise that right to vote today, I don't know what to tell you, because you wasted an amazing and great opportunity to have your voice heard, especially if you're very concerned about some of the issues that are taking place within our city right now as we speak. Okay, I digress. Off my soapbox. I'll probably get back on it. So just bear with me. Hey, today has been a long day. It's been an amazing day, but I truly, truly appreciate all of the love and support for Break Me Off Radio. Once again, thank you to whomever had nominated us for a Queen City Award. We are truly excited to be joining Queen City Awards on November the 22nd. If you haven't already gotten your ticket, please do so. You are not going to want to miss these awards. You can find out more at queencityawards.com. You can see who was nominated. Listen, you can also learn more about the entertainment, the presenters. Thank you so much. We are so excited. The Connected has selected us to be a presenter. And you can learn more on theconnected.net. So that is a great way to get involved with the community. Big shout out to Kevin Glover. He's always doing some amazing things. Y'all, please follow them across social media platforms. And you can download the Connected on the Roku. So listen, you want to know how you can catch all these amazing shows? Like, it is an amazing lineup and you want to be a part of it? Listen, a great way is to download it on your Roku. But anyway, let me get to the topic at hand this evening, you all. Food. 4 simple letters. FOOD. 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 People need food. People need to eat. We need to nourish our bodies. We need food. We need to eat. Why is this up for debate? Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about where people are, where people stand in the state that we are in now with our federal government, especially in communities that have already faced a lot of food insecurities. But it goes well beyond that because we have to start removing these preconceived notions that only Black folks receive food stamps. Like, get that out of your head. Um, Also, too, that a lot of those food stamp recipients don't work. You have food stamp recipients that have some sort of income. So let's get these preconceived notions out of your head. Y'all, people are really relying on these benefits to appear. Um, but thank goodness to those that have stepped up and said, hey, we are going to make a difference. We're going to do our part. Big shout out to every, and I'm not going to list them. Nope. But because if I leave somebody off, they say, well, Deb didn't mention me on the show, but there are so many pantries throughout the city of Charlotte. You've got Hope Street. I said I wasn't going to name it, but you got Hope Street. You've got Hearts United for Good, A Brighter Day Outreach. You've got Beauty for Ashes over off of Oaklawn. You've got Block Love Charlotte. You've got Hearts and Hands Food Pantry. A lot of churches host pantries. A lot of organizations have now opened up pantries. You have Caring that has a pantry. And then you all have, bigger names that, you have Nourish Up. So big shout out to them. You have, you know, um, Second Food Harvest Bank. You've got a lot of people trying, even before where we are today, they were trying to help, but now the load has gotten a little bit heavier. But it is the comments, the opinions um, that are concerning. And then it makes someone not want to ask because they don't want that judgment. They don't want the stigma. They don't want the shame. Listen, stop doing that. Food is necessary. Over at Block Love Charlotte, No Limit Larry came up with a great saying. He said, you don't have to be homeless. You just have to be hungry. Like, we don't want anyone to ever feel like they can't come to us and get something to eat. But so many people have said some really hateful and hurtful things to those that receive benefits. And I don't think it is fair or a fair assessment because just because our pocket of the world may see more of a minority on food stamps, there are other pockets in this country where, it is on the flip side, where the majority are the ones that are absolutely and actually receiving, food stamp benefits or the SNAP benefits. And we got to stop it, y'all. Why is that still an issue to make someone feel ashamed because they receive food stamps? Like, I don't care what your thoughts are. Take these judgments off of people because babies got to eat. Our elderly and seniors have to eat. You know, individuals that are may or may not have a disability, um, but have a need for SNAP benefits. Listen, who are you to judge? Like, we've got to stop it because right now people are in fear of going hungry, and it's not right. It's not fair. We are off of the heels of a major pandemic, and we saw individuals not being able to get anything to eat because they were furloughed. I'm sorry, you all. I'm tongue tied. Maybe I'm a little parched. But listen, let's stop that. Let's erase these stigmas and make sure that we're um, covering individuals, covering them in love, offering a meal. I love seeing the outpouring of love that is going forward for those, that are really having a hard time, from restaurants offering additional meals, offering discounted meals. I've seen chefs step up and they're offering meals. Food trucks, offering discounted days or discounted meals. But the community really is coming together. And so we have to silence the negativity by coming together and making sure that everybody eats, you all. That is key because we do a grocery giveaway at Block Love Charlotte. And last week, that line just kept growing. It kept growing and it kept growing. But I couldn't bat an eye. The team and I couldn't stop and think about where it's going to come from, how we're going to make sure that everybody in this line eats. The food, just as we gave out more kept coming in, and we were able to make sure that everybody left with bags. And I'm so very grateful. But it doesn't just happen with us. I'm seeing it with other organizations. And I think if we just work together, groups were sending over stuff to us. We were still picking up donations. But I think if we work together, we'll see that we can meet the need, whatever it may be. We can meet the need for those that need it most. And it really just does take you doing something for somebody other than yourselves. If you've got the non-perishable items, reach out to a food bank, reach out to a pantry, and see how you can donate those items. You know, don't automatically assume that someone may not want, as long as it's not expired. But don't just assume that somebody may not want what you have in your pantry, because we have people with different dietary restrictions, or they may be, it may be something religious based, and they may need that. We've got everything from matzo balls to vegetarian soups. So we try to make sure that we're meeting everyone's needs, so that no one goes without. But is it key to really all just step back and say, how can I help in these times, and not don't judge. Don't let judgment come out of your mouth or even into your thoughts about why people are going through what they're going through. I've heard on oh God, on TikTok, folks just, oh God, they deserve it. They won't get up and go work for their food. I go work for my food every single day. Okay, that's why you fat. No, I'm playing. Okay, that wasn't nice, Deb. That was not nice. That's why you fat. Like, listen, don't judge us. But no, people do work and receive food stamps. So, maybe don't receive as much as you think. Or somebody will say, hey, that person gets so many food stamps a month. They got all them kids. They should never run out of food. If you got kids, especially teenagers, baby, they will eat through. If you get 600, 800, sometimes $1,200 a month, those kids will eat through those groceries. And please don't judge what type of food people are buying, because you never know. But I've seen it. Kids will go through those groceries, and you gotta place some of those limits. But sometimes it can be hard, especially if you're a working parent and your kids are latchkey kids. You don't know what those kids are eating when they get home. So you want to make sure that it is something there. And I've seen parents do that, but it still sometimes can be more month than it is, benefit. It could be more month than it is money. And so we have to help out where we can, and do your research. Like, find out where these locations are, find out who's lacking. You may say, hey, I want to get the Second Harvest Food Bank, and they may have a plethora of stuff, whereas some of the smaller organizations, shelves are bare. So reach out to before you make those donations, and see where it could best benefit the individuals that need it the most. But don't judge, y'all. We just never know when we may find ourselves in these situations. One of my favorite movies is Crooklyn, y'all. And I'm gonna play this song, and then I'm gonna come back to you all, because I want to talk to y'all about a scene in Crooklyn that cracks me up, but it holds so true for so many of us. This is Food Stamp Baby by Trap Boy Freddy and Uno Loso. I'm a food stamp baby, I'm on you regardless. I've been thugging so hard, got my soul hardened. The cold nights turn us cold hearted. Came a very long way from where we started. So I'm a food stamp baby, I'm on you regardless. We came a long way from different parties. Get your head right, nigga, get your bread right. Tell all my bro this shit like it night. Yo, that go to our bro, get your headlights. You misbehave, they call us retarded. Hey, yo, we see who get the farthest. Like, fuck the school shit, I never really cared. Bleep, 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 bleep. Make it anywhere. School of hard knocks, you know life ain't never fair. Mama working too, Josh, she never really there. Granny in the church, how she keep me in her prayers. Like every other week, another nigga getting buried. When the niggas took D, they broke my heart. Was with me from the start. We made a way and they made us targets. From the cradle to the grave, we raised that war. No, this shit ain't come easy, we had it the hardest. When I was calling, so I get the phone. They turn their backs, I was trying to stop us. I'm a food stamp baby, I'm gonna eat regardless. I'm a food stamp baby, I'm gonna eat regardless. I ain't never heard too many babies complain about food stamps. I think they wait for that meal to hit the table and they don't care how that meal made it to that table. They were appreciative and grateful for whatever mama, grandmama, daddy put on that table. And it wasn't a matter of whether they pulled out that red, white, and blue card or back in the day, the actual food stamps that mimicked money. Babies didn't matter. They didn't care. We as adults place more criticism and concern on food stamps than the children who we're trying to make sure remain fed. But I wanted to talk about Crooklyn, y'all. I love that movie. I still love that movie. It's one of my favorites. Queenie! If y'all know that part, it cracks me up. But what I want to say is the mother of the movie, she wanted to send the daughter to the store, and the daughter was hesitant, actually got upset and angry with her mother because she didn't want to go with food stamps. Now, you all, growing up, I didn't have food stamps, but yes, my mother would buy food stamps because we ate a lot of food. But my mother would buy food stamps, and so we was excited. Like, I don't remember caring about whether I went to the store with them food stamps or not because I knew what I was gonna buy with them food stamps. Like, I was excited to go to the store with them little greenish blue color food stamps. I could not wait to go to the store with food stamps. But I had a friend, and one time her mom was sending us to the store, and she went into the kitchen. Her mom called in the kitchen to give her the food stamps, and she got mad and stormed out of the room. And the mom said, "You just so ungrateful." And now it's a little bit different. The food stamps get loaded on a card, so it looks like you have a debit card. At one point I have had in my adult life food stamps and appreciated them food stamps, but having that little debit card, it makes a bit of a difference. But why do people judge? Like, I've seen folks, especially when food stamps hit and people are in line at the grocery store and they've got all of these groceries, and people mad because they feel like they taking up their time in the grocery store. Like, we got to be a more patient society. We've got to deal with our issues as a society. But here it is, the first of the month. Families are being told that there is a pause in their SNAP and EBT benefits. So once they were able to go into the store, get what they needed for their families, and then today it's not the same. And if a lot of these families are like I was, you schedule and plan your grocery trips. Back then it was based off of our paycheck, the 1st and the 15th. But if it's based off of when your benefits arrive, your kids know that. Your kids know, hey, mama, we not going to the grocery store today. Like, they more excited for them benefits to hit than you are. And my heart aches, you all, for families that have those dates set, that aren't going to have that long lineup of food on the cash register, that aren't going to have those buggies full. Excuse me. And although they say that's a temporary thing, your stomach doesn't understand temporary situations. All your stomach knows is it's time to eat. Your stomach knows, mama, I'm hungry. When your stomach begins to growl, you feel some type of way, you become a term that we have now coined, hangry. It's not a comfortable feeling. And as a parent, you don't want your kids going to sleep hungry. As a parent, you don't want them going off to school hungry. How can a child focus when they're hungry? How can a country with so much money allow it to happen? But today you had the opportunity to vote. Did you exercise that right? We want to talk about these things. We want to argue. We want to be angry. We want to be mad. But if you didn't vote, and I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if voting could resolve what we're in today. I think it could have. I really do. I really believe if we would have voted, all got out there and done our part, we wouldn't be where we are today. But we can't turn back those hands of time. But what we can do going forward is look out for one another. Do the neighborly thing. We just came off of Halloween, and I saw something on TikTok where individuals were placing out different items that they would think kids would want to eat during the day, from the little cups of macaroni and cheese to the cups of applesauce to the snack crackers, chips, the ramen noodles. Man, I loved it. So I followed suit. I said, this is don't just think if you're in a certain type of neighborhood that there's not a kid that's hungry. It's Section 8 homes in very, very nice communities. And that particular family may receive benefits. So don't judge. Just set it out there. During COVID, Block Love Charlotte had put up 2 food pantry blessing boxes. We couldn't fill them things fast enough. The need was growing then, and it's growing now. But what are we doing to do our part, you all? How are we showing up for our neighbors? How are we, turning something negative into something positive? Because when I walk into Block Love Charlotte and I see families and individuals and their faces of concern about what they're going to eat, it breaks my heart. Even if we have it, just to know that somebody woke up today and said, I don't know how I'm going to eat. One of our last individuals through our doors this evening. It's hard, Miss Deb. I said, it doesn't have to be, baby. What can I fix you for your box? But if we're not making the food available, if we're not making ourselves available, even to support a food pantry with your volunteerism, go through the items and make sure, volunteer to go through the items to make sure they're not expired, to see if you can help stock those items. Get with the organization to see if you can help pre-bag the items so that it makes it a lot easier to pass out, especially with the crowds growing and the numbers growing, to help move the traffic along for individuals. Somebody shared the other day, I think it was Hope Street Pantry, and they showed the long, long line. They're off of Johnston Oiler Road. I can't even imagine what that traffic must have been like. Sometimes I go down W.T. Harris, back toward the university area, and there's a church on the left-hand side, and you can always tell when the Second Harvest has been there or is about to be there, because the line goes all the way down the street. And this was before benefits were paused. I won't say cut, they're saying paused. There's a need, you all. And we've got to get out of our own way and stop being selfish and be selfless and see how we can help meet that need. Whatever it may be. And this is not a plug for Block Love Charlotte, because like I told you all, it's so many other pantries that help out you all. So many pantries. But if you have pantries that don't have it, and you've got people that don't have transportation and their closest pantry is without, we need to find out who those pantries are. Find out how we can stock those shelves, and find out, what is needed the most. Don't just assume, it's a bunch of tomato sauce. Because if right now, and I'm probably saying that because I have a bunch of tomato sauce, but we need the spaghetti. We need the noodles. It doesn't have to always be spaghetti. It can be penne pasta. It can be ziti, whatever it is, whatever type of noodle to help elbow macaroni to go with the tomato sauce. Somebody said, oh my God, every time I go to the pantry, they give me peanut butter. Peanut butter is your protein. Boy, ain't nothing like a good peanut butter sandwich. And I ain't even talking about with the jelly. Ain't nothing like a peanut butter sandwich. And let me, since I said that, not everybody that comes to a pantry complains. You're going to have complainers. You're going to have those that pantry hop. You're going to have those that definitely overload their cars. But who are we to judge? Let God deal with them in that. At the end of the day, let's do our part and make sure that nobody goes without. Share a meal. There's this phrase, share and share alike. Share and share alike. Invite somebody to the table. Let them know, hey, we got the holidays coming up, and here it is. We've got benefits paused and people trying to figure out how they're going to feed their families. If you don't think this ain't a ploy of the government, I don't know what to tell you. But at the end of the day, watch us come together, all of us in the community, all of us as villages, and make sure everybody eats. Nobody should go hungry for the holidays. I don't care if it ain't turkey. You might have some chicken legs, somebody else might have some wings, somebody else might have ham, somebody may actually have some spam. If you cook it right, it's gonna taste amazing. And share it. Share it. Teach your kids how to share it. Get your kids involved. Let's show folks that we can overcome this thing. It is just a pause. And for many of us that do the work, it's not even pause, it's an acceleration of what we already have going on. And we want to make sure that, once again, nobody goes hungry. Listen, y'all, sitting here talking, not only have I gotten parched, and I am now realizing that I myself didn't eat like I should have. But I'm going to come on here because, listen, I love this old school song. This is Soul Food by Goodie Mob.
My old boy from the point, but I'm from Southwest. And every now and then I get put to the test. But I can't be stopped, cause I got a cook too. Ain't got no gun, but I got my crew. Didn't come for no beef, cause I don't eat steak. I got a plate of soul food, chicken, rice, and gravy. Not covered in too much, drinking a couple puffs. Topical every last Thursday of the month. Daddy put the hot grits on my chest in the morning. When I was sick, Mary had the hot soup on it. Didn't know why, but it felt so good. Like some waffles in the morning, headed back to the woods. Now full of some tit, got some soul on blast and up cassette. Food for my brain that haven't stopped learning yet. Hot wings from Mojo's, got my forehead sweat. Celery and blue cheese on the menu. Allow my body to not steal. Hot face booms around me like cancer. Drill, you a second hand off the coast, but only to me. Not just worse, plus I'm getting pimped by this temp and that jacket from Optimus. Stabbing niggas, laughing, shut up, clown, don't talk to me like that. We're good, of course, living day by day, and you ain't hard trick. Hell, you say. It's such a blessing when my eyes get to see the sunrise. I'm ready to begin. Another chance to get further away from where I've been, but I never forget. Everything I went through, I appreciate the shit. Because if I had a win that took the ease away, wouldn't be the strong nigga that I am today. Everything that I did, different things I was told, just ended up being food for my soul. Get your soul food. Well, good old-fashioned soul food. All right. Everything is for free, as good as it can be. Come and get some soul food. Sunday morning, where you eating that? I'm on 1365.
Boy, ain't nothing like some soul food. Come on and get your soul food, man. Listen, Sundays were days for soul food, but not just that. Everybody used to be invited to the table and could put their feet under the table. Whatever happened to that? Do we still do that? Do we still make sure that everybody eats? Do we take the time to invite somebody to come and sup with us? Are we just greedy? Are we just greedy? Are we just saying that, hey, I'm not dealing with y'all no more. Y'all cannot come over. Y'all have eaten up all of the good food. No, y'all like invite somebody over. You got Sunday dinner, and y'all know what? We are hoarders when it comes to food. Because we'll cook all of this food and then it goes to waste because you don't put it in the refrigerator. And then y'all know we don't do like we used to, because now everybody's dog is bougie and eats real dog food. Because back in the day, we would give the dog the old greens, the bone from the ham, the trimmings and everything off of the turkey or the bird or whatever you had for that Sunday. But we don't do that anymore. At least not that I know. I wish I would give my dog some old greens. Like my dog would look at me like I'm crazy because they a little on the bougie side. So our dog's a little bit different. So, but we would still waste it. But now we waste different because we just go ahead and put it down the trash compactor or we throw it away. But you cook up all that food. Why not pack it up and see who could use it? Buy some to-go trays, invite somebody over. If you got a friend that's got a family of 6, find out if they actually ate. And if they haven't, pack up your extras and take it to them instead of them going to waste. Like I make sure if we got some extra, we bringing it to somebody so that they can eat it. But share a meal, share and share alike, share a meal. See who you can invite to your table. like, listen, we have a lot of elderly that are affected by this, you all, and that is a concern of mine because now we're also in the middle of these temperatures dropping, and so we got to make sure that everybody eats. Like, it's getting colder, and you have elderly, you all, that cannot prepare a meal. Like, they're not going to stand at that oven and prepare a meal, and sometimes the microwavable meals are just not sufficient. So, are we making sure our elderly eat? And that is a concern. If you have a church home, see if the church mothers are eating, and some of the deacons, the widow, look out for those that are widowed, that their kids have gone on, to wherever they're living now. You got empty nesters that are older and up in age and would like a meal. Like, everybody don't want to cook. And this is before the pause in benefits. Let's look out for one another. Let's make sure that we're getting back to some of the old school ways, because those old school ways, I ain't gonna lie, they work. They work. Rent parties. Why are we hosting rent parties? Folks struggling to pay rent. Block Love Charlotte is struggling to pay rent. But yeah, listen, folks are struggling to pay rent and utilities, but folks used to have what is called rent parties. My mom and them used to host them all the time in Worthdale and in Kingwood Forest back in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I can remember watching an episode of Good Times, and they hosted one, I believe it was for Wanda. They didn't want Wanda to get put out of the projects. So they held a rent party. And because they knew she was prideful, they didn't just give the money to her, they paid it directly to the housing authority. But do people still do that? Do we look out for each other in that way? I mean, we should. We really should host rent parties instead of saying, "Oh, but she went on a cruise last week, so last month, so she don't need her rent paid." I seen her up in there getting her hair done. You don't know what setback may have caused somebody to miss paying rent or be on the verge of eviction. It could be a health scare. It could be something mechanical with their vehicle. It could be something dealing with the kids. Anything could cause a pause or a breakdown in finances in someone's home, including losing your benefits. And now you're trying to stretch that dollar even thinner than it's already been stretched. So instead of judging, why not help and throw a rent party? We would have block parties and people would sell hot dogs and drinks and stuff. And that would go back to help somebody in the neighborhood. You would identify somebody in the neighborhood to give that money back to. If y'all want to know how Block Love was birthed, boom, there it is. But you think about different ways and things that you can do to help somebody. Get out of our own way. Stop being selfish. Stop thinking why does it matter to you how they ended up in the situation? If God laid it upon your heart to help, do just that and help. But rent parties used to be amazing. Maybe we need to have grocery parties and take what's left and buy grocery cards at the end. You can have a party, man, charge at the door, sell, like I said, some food and some drinks, and then have some vendors and have the vendors give a percentage of what they make. And at the end of it all, whatever you raise, use that to go buy some grocery store gift cards and give back. Boom, there's the idea. Go ahead and take it. You ain't stole it. I gave it to you. Boom, there it is. Let's give back and do for people. Pay their rent, pay their light bill, do something to help out and aid them. Because y'all, times they're only hard because we make them hard. So we get back to some of these older ways that actually work and come together as community and as a village, it will make a heck of a difference out here in the world. If you have a teacher struggling, a teacher homeless, a city worker, an officer, a medic, and I'm not saying one person's job is better than the other, but these people do a lot for not a lot of money. And when times are hard, they're just hard. Being able to afford diapers, formula, heaven forbid, like I said, someone gets sick, medication. One of my inhalers for my asthma is almost $10,000. What do you do if you don't have insurance? Oh, don't get started on diabetic medication. That is expensive, and now benefits are paused. There was that commercial, whether it was a commercial of an older gentleman in the store, and he was debating on, because the pharmacy was in the grocery store, he was debating on whether he was going to get something to eat or cover his prescription. We're there. We're right there, and benefits are paused. Now someone has to make that decision on whether I'm going to eat or whether I'm going to get this life-saving medication. That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. What are we doing? We've got to pick up the slack, help out where we can. And you don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to win the lottery. I love hearing people say, oh, when I win the lottery. Yeah, I have been trying to win the lottery for the longest time. I can't even win money off of scratch off. Like, it don't work for people like me. I promise you, I don't think it works. It may. I'm sorry, God. You may have a lottery ticket with my name on it. But right now, it don't work for people like me. Like, because I guess God probably say this fool will give it all away. I probably would give the majority away, but I'm buy a house first, y'all. Look, God, from my lips to your ears, I'm gonna buy a house first. But what I have left, yeah, I'm gonna give a lot of that away. I'm gonna make sure people are taken care of. But that is almost like a shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's a wish, as Ray J said. If I had one wish, it's a wish. But what the little I have, I put it in God's hand. He makes it much, and I'm able to give out of the lack. I'm able to give out of the little, and it becomes much. Because when I give, he turns around and gives it back to me, pressed down, shaking together, running over, and more people come back and give again. And as more people come and give, I'm able to give more. We're able to give more. So giving right now is one of the ways that we're going to get up out of what we're in. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? We ain't in church, but you got to catch it. You got to catch it. It's the law of reciprocity. Catch that thing. Give it out. I remember listening to Kim one time, the artist Kim, K-E-M. Oh my God, he needs to make some new music. Oh, he's such a soulful voice. But anyway, Kim does a lot in his community as far as the homeless, the houseless, and those facing food insecurities. But he said something that was profound to me. He said, you have to give it away to keep it. You have to give it away to keep it. A lot of us think the way to keep it is to keep it. Don't give it away. Give. Did I just not say that? Give, and it shall be given to you. Press down, shaking together, run it over. Okay, Deb, you being too deep. You being too biblical. Deb, stop talking like, yeah, I'm calling myself, oh God, fix it, Jesus. But yeah, it makes sense when you say it out loud. It really makes sense. Give, and it shall be given to you. He said you got to give it away in order to keep it. And he stood on that. Times like these, y'all, giving is going to get us up out of what we're in. Giving will get us past this storm. Giving, as the old folks will say, will get us up the rough side of the mountain. But some of us are too selfish to give. Some of us are more concerned about the new J's that are about to drop or how much money we get ready to spend at Christmas to even be concerned about those that are facing food insecurities and now have had their benefits paused. See, it's okay till it affects your table. It's okay until you realize, hey, I don't have it right now. Or that family member calls and they say they don't have it. And you're now stepping in to help and you're like, oh, now it's affecting my household. Because 6 degrees of separation, somebody that you know, that you know, that you know, that they know somebody else that actually knows you, because it came back again, 6 degrees. It's going to hit you some way, shape, form, or fashion this pause. Somebody you know in your community, whether it's in your sorority, your fraternity, your alumni chapter, your church, your job, your support group, your dance group, because all y'all line dancing now. There's a line dance for absolutely every song on the face of the earth. I am convinced that I am now going to be line dancing to gospel because I've already seen it in the church. I'm going to be line dancing to the Supremes. I am definitely going to be line dancing to Prince. I'm going to be Purple Rain. There's going to be a line dance for Purple Rain. I promise you. It's just going to happen because somebody is going to create a smooth two-step to Purple Rain. There's a line dance for everything on the face of the earth. I'm sorry I got sidetracked because I mentioned the word line dance and it just did something to me. And I appreciate all you line dance instructors, but enough is enough with the line dances because I used to think I was coordinated and I'm not coordinated like that anymore. I don't know. I feel like I have two left feet. I used to get down with the get down, but these line dances, baby, and TikTok ain't no help. Okay, I got sidetracked. But everything comes back full circle, you all. And I think it's just best if we all work together as our village to give, find out who's doing what in the community. Don't judge anybody don't judge the ones that are trying to help. If you're not part of the solution, keep your mouth shut. If you're not offering solutions and coming to the table with something, to assist along the way until benefits do pick back up and show up on people's cards or accounts, don't say anything, man. Donate a can of tuna, some hash, some grits, some oatmeal, man. Do something, some hamburger meat. Help some people out. You got stuff right now you ain't using that is in date that somebody else could use. Donate some milk so these babies can have some syrup, some milk. Donate some milk. It's milk on the shelf that has a shelf life now that you could donate to make sure these babies can eat some cereal. Kids were out of school today because of voting. Imagine being out of school. You didn't get dinner last night, so you were hoping to get up this morning to go to school and have breakfast, but school was not open today. So you didn't receive breakfast, you didn't receive lunch, and you have no idea whether there's going to be dinner available for you today. But you got to get up tomorrow morning, a cold morning, start your day right, get on that bus if you are riding the bus, hungry. And you don't even know if you're going to have breakfast because, folks saying that breakfast been cut at the schools. So now you're going into 2 days and you don't know whether you're going to eat. If adults are panicking, imagine how children must feel, wondering where their next meal. If y'all heard it in Soul Food, I told you all, kids know when them benefits drop. Do you hear me? Because he said he knew the last Thursday. CeeLo said he knew the last Thursday of the month what to expect. And he had his grocery list ready. Y'all seen CeeLo? CeeLo had his grocery list ready. He wasn't missing a meal. No ham, no burger. He was not missing a meal. These kids know, y'all. They know, like my kids knew when I was getting paid. They knew when we was going to the grocery store. Wally World, here we come. Yes. And to be able to get what your kids want. Stop judging people and saying, oh, they don't work. They just living off the government. Man, later for that. What if somebody was laid off and needed those benefits? What if someone has a heart condition and they've got 6 kids and they need those benefits? They can't work, but you calling them lazy. Old people getting food stamps is lazy. Man, later for that. Keep your opinions and thoughts to yourself. They are unwarranted. We don't want them. We did unsolicited. We don't want them. Go on about your business if you're not giving. So you all, I want to talk to you all about places you can go, that you can give, that your donations will be accepted and well received. And some of those in places, I'm looking at my phone because I don't want y'all to be like, she lying. No, I'm going to give y'all some of these places. I'm going to start with Hospitality House of Charlotte. We've got Pineville Church of Nazarene, Hearts United for Good, Care to Share Outreach, Block Love Charlotte, Hickory Grove Food Pantry, QC Family Tree, the Harvest Center of Charlotte, Salvation Army of Charlotte. You're going to have to check with them, though, and find out which locations actually take the food. Big shout out to Champion House of Care, Faith Soldiers Word Ministries, Beauty for Your Ashes, Oak Grove Church, Ada Jenkins Center, Camino Church, Hearts United for Good, the Hope Covenant House, there's a few on here that I know aren't listed, you all. Trinity United Methodist Church. Big shout out to them because they have sent stuff over to us and we are so very grateful. Statesville Avenue Presbyterian, A Brighter Day Outreach, Hope Community Church. Y'all listen, so many places. And I love it because with all of these places, that means it's going to cover all corridors, all areas. Something has to be available in walking distance. Or, like I said, if you all are able to drive for some of these organizations, because people are saying that they can't come out, they're not able to for whatever reason. If you're able to assist some of these pantries, if they can offer delivery, see if you can help them out. See if you can volunteer once again to stock and sort, or bag the groceries if the organization decides to pre-bag, volunteer for the giving days. Block Love Charlotte, we give away free groceries every Friday from 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. Sometimes we get deliveries during the week and we want to do giveaways. So we want to make sure that we have enough hands on deck to be able to do that. But a lot of these organizations have set times and days of the week where they're giving out the donations, and share across social media. Make sure that you're not just on there looking at the latest dance moves and line dances and outfits and everything else from Temu. Make sure that you are sharing. If someone has shared food banks, share where they are. If you have a civic group or organization, big shout out to all the motorcycle clubs, the Jeeps, the Slingshots, the youth groups, those that are doing food drives and canned food drives. Y'all are absolutely amazing. But yeah, get involved, man, with the community and find out how you can help give back. I had somebody reach out today from a pediatric clinic, and they were like, Deb, I've worked with you before and I'm now at a different clinic and I want to work with you again and make sure that you all have what you need as the need arises. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you for thinking of us. But it really is just that simple, you all, to get involved. You might have somebody else was saying, hey, if you got 10 canned foods, I got 10, and somebody else did 10, that is 30 canned food items that can go on a pantry shelf. And you all spin the wheel to find out where you're going to drop. Make it a fun game. Spin the wheel and see where you all are going to drop those donations off. But make sure that you get involved and that you do your part, because now's the time for us to come together, not to fall apart, to do something for somebody else other than ourselves, and also to just give. Giving is a really, really good feeling. Don't let anybody condemn you for your giving. Continue to give. It is almost the Christmas season. Let's be like the Grinch. Let's continue to give until our hearts grow 2 inches or 4 inches larger, because I believe our hearts could always have room for growth. So let's give, you all. I'm so glad you all joined me today. I got a couple of things that I want to discuss and talk about before I sign off today. But most importantly, I want to tell everybody I love and appreciate them for supporting Break Me Off Radio. Coming up pretty soon in the next week, we got a big surprise for you all. Something I'm truly excited about for Break Me Off Radio. It's a direction that I'm sure you all are going to love, because I know y'all are probably tired of hearing my voice, but I'm going to always talk about those things that are relevant and tie it into hip hop, because that is what I do. So very grateful for this platform. Like I said, big shout out to theconnected.net and Connected Radio. Make sure that you are following them. Make sure that you love, like, and share. Please share about Break Me Off Radio, because like I said, we got something big coming up. So you might want to buckle up and get ready for what's coming our way and down and through the pipes, you all. I'm so very grateful. Like I said, for this platform, but I'm also grateful for the work that I do at Block Love Charlotte. If you're not familiar with it, please Google us, look us up, blockloveclt.org. Listen, my grandson saw my shirt today. He said, it broke. I said, Cheese, what broke? It broke. He was pointing to my heart, y'all. My little heart on here is a little bit raggedy. It is worn and torn. And he said, it broke. Nanny, heart, it broke. And I said, no, my heart not broken. I just need a new hoodie. But that just lets you know how hard we absolutely work doing this type of work. So we are just excited, and we want you all to continue to support the work that we have going on. I want to let you all know that we are in the midst of our GoFundMe. So you all please check that out. It is on GoFundMe, and we want to make sure that we keep our doors open, you all. We operate as a warming and a cooling station. As I said, the temperatures are dropping. Today, we had a record number in our building, 82 people came through. That is a lot, you all. And we want to make sure that people know they have somewhere to go, even while benefits are on pause, that they have a place to eat, a place of respite, but they can also get services and resources. And we cannot do that without your love and without your support. You can also make a financial donation on our website at blockloveclt.org, or you can do a donation through our Amazon wish list. And we have updated it with the colder items. So please check us out. Please, once again, get your tickets for Queen City Awards. Y'all are, listen, if you've never been to a Queen City Awards show, you are missing out. So I need for you all to get those tickets, show up and show out big for the Connected, and have some fun, man. Dress up to the nines, look good. That red carpet is the place to be. The who's who are going to be there. I'm ready, y'all. Listen, y'all, I might have hair that day, so I might shock you. I'm definitely going to put my lashes on. I ain't going to look like I look today. My heart will not be broke. I'm going to come in and I'm going to come ready, because I'm also presenting. So big shout out to the Connected for having us. And we're going to leave y'all with Rappers Delight. Y'all check us out. If you want to be a guest, email me at breakmeoffradio@gmail.com. breakmeoffradio@gmail.com. We going out with Rappers Delight.
I said a hip hop, the hip it, the hip it, the hip hip hop, you don't stop the rocket to the bang bang, make it say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear is not a test, I'm rapping to the beat. And me, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet. You see, I am Wonder Mike, and I like to say hello. Up to the black, to the white,